By this point, I assume you probably already know who this lunatic above me is, but just in case you don't, this is the perpetrator of the mass school attack that just happened in Canada. And while everyone is, talking about, oh, they were trans and this and that, that's not actually my main focus today. If you still don't know what I'm talking about, let me run through it real quick, and then I'll get to my point. The tiny Canadian mountain town of Tumbler Ridge, British Columbia, suffered one of the country's worst school attacks in recent history on Tuesday, when an 18-year-old woman killed at least 8 people and wounded dozens. Okay, first of all, that was a dude. Police say they still don't know the motive of the suspected attacker, who killed their mother and stepbrother at a home before going to the school, but had previously dealt with them over mental health concerns. Alright, so now we're all on the same page. You ready to hear literally the worst take on anything you have ever heard in your life?
As a person who went to school, had hateful comments directed my way, the first victim of this tragedy was the shooter. And you can disagree all you want.
Well, ma'am, as it so happens, I do disagree quite emphatically. This is the exact reason people are sick of the trans movement and the trans community. It has nothing to do with what you choose to do with your body, in your own life. It has everything to do with, well, one, you indoctrinating people's children, preying on their insecurities and their low self-esteem to convince them of some psychotic ideology that ultimately ends up disfiguring them, leaving them with permanent scars that they cannot fix when they grow up and realize that they were duped and lied to by doctors and, trans activists and people on the left. But beyond that, you personally, on an individual scale, you know what makes me hate you? The weaponization of your victimhood. Actually, matter of fact, not even the weaponization. The creation of victimhood into a currency that you spend for attention. To sit here and play that, oh, this 18-year-old trans person that went and, committed a mass murder, is they were the victim. They were the first victim, because mean words and being picked on, that should, you justifies, or maybe it doesn't justify, but you can empathize with them. No, I can't. No, I can't. I've been called all sorts of terrible things in my life. I've been called all sorts of terrible things and threatened many times in the last 10 years for disagreeing with people on the left. And I myself, I don't threaten people. And I almost never, resort to ad hominem or childish attacks. I'm smarter than that. But oh my God, for you to sit here and how disconnected from reality do you have to be to actually say that out loud and then put it on the internet? And by the way, if you go, I went and tried finding this TikTok account, and I can't. I wanted to post this video as a reply directly to this person, but I'm assuming that they probably got so much immediate backlash for the absurd notion that this shooter should in any way, be looked at as a victim, that they probably, if not fully deleted their account, changed their name. Anyways, I might be able to give you the slightest, tiniest sliver of grace in your statement if this person would have gone back to their school and, had done harm to the actual people, that their peers, that supposedly put them through this torment. But that's not what this dude did. What he did, well, here, let's look. The victims include a female teacher, 3 female students, and 2 male students, and 2 relatives of the suspected attacker were killed in the attack, police said Wednesday. The 3 female students were aged 12 and the male students were 12 and 13, said Sergeant Vanessa Munn. The 2 relatives found dead at the home were the suspected attacker's mother and stepbrother, police said. I would really like Lesby Real 89 to explain to me how those 12 and that 13-year-old, how they victimized this 18-year-old adult man that had the delusion that he was a woman. I would really like that explanation. But it doesn't stop there because, of course, this woman just doesn't know when to shut up.
But that person did not just decide one day that it was the day. It was the day that they could not take it any longer. I know it's a small community, but you know what also comes with a small community? A small mindset.
So now, not only is the shooter a victim, but it's the community's fault somehow. Like, these people are actually sick.
The first victim to this tragedy was the shooter. Verbal abuse is what pushes people to a point where they don't feel worthy to be here any longer. And I only know this because I am a victim of this still to this day.
And then to end it in, like, possibly the most disgusting way possible by making it about yourself. And that is another massive underlying reason I personally have such a problem with not just the trans community, but with leftists in general. Because so much of what they are concerned about is just an expression of narcissism. You know, whether it's this or them telling Venezuelan nationals that they don't know what real oppression is after they're liberated by Trump. These people think that the world revolves around them, that they know what the world is, that they know how everything works, everyone's dumber than them, and their comfort is the most important thing in the world. Their victimhood is the thing you should concern yourself with most, regardless of the fact that they have running clean water, heat, a soft bed, food in their belly, and all the other amenities of modern American life. I really just can't take it anymore. Oh yeah, and also, you know, considering how she finished that, maybe somebody should be watching this lady, because she might be next.